So we're like, let's have the prayer, and then we can start go into it. Do you want to say it?
Sure. Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for this day and the time that we had to work on this project. We pray that we may be able to have that Spirit to with us to help us understand the functions and formulas that we'll be using. And we'll be able to get this project done and do so, and have thy Spirit to with us to help us along the way. And these things we pray in Jesus' name.
Amen. Okay, so for this project, Stephen and I met before with, I met before with Caleb last night as well as today, and went over the project and got it looking really good, figured out what we need to do. And now I'm going to meet with Stephen so that he can get what he needs on it and go from there. Okay, so first off, the goal of our project is to complete a database that will be for upload later on, and they want some certain things done in it. So we need to have some fields done on a new sheet. So the first thing you want to do is create on your sheet, your Excel sheet, a second sheet, and it's going to be titled Data for Upload. All right, now what they've asked us to do in the first field, and I labeled these so that I wouldn't get confused. So, and we'll take this out at the end because with Data for Upload, Caleb had pointed out that that would come in as a person when they uploaded it, and they don't want that. So at the end, we'll take these out. But A is last name. B is first name. C is last four of social security number. Let's see, we're on D, right?
D.
D is the hire date. E is the years employed. All right, F is if they've been at the job 10 years or more, so I just put 10 years at the job. Okay, G is insurance plan. We have to code their insurance plan. They currently have words. It needs to go into a number code. Okay, H is the city. I is the state. J is the zip. And K is the phone number. Okay, if you can go and look at your the sheet that tells us what we're supposed to do in this. Do you have that up?
Yeah, I believe so. Right. In here. New project.
New project 9 access. I guess I did this. There we go. Okay.
All right.
So mini project 9, it gives us the fields we just talked about. Okay. So in column A and B, they just want the last name and first name of each employee listed. So we have to extract that from the other sheet.
Okay.
Do you remember some of the extraction functions that we used yesterday?
Let's see. Well, I have my other sheets up here. Let's see. This is conditional formatting.
So if you look at sheet 1, let's go to sheet 1 because we're, for the sake of time, going to go through this and get it through. So if you go to sheet 1.
Okay.
Okay. So if you notice in sheet 1, on the far side, you've got, if you can get over to column A, you can hit Control Home or go out of your zoomed in thing. Okay. There's a way that you can zoom in onto your things as well and see hold on, go to zoom here and you can zoom special, to like 169 is what you're at now, so that's good. Okay. All right. So you can see here the names, right? Amber, Ambrose, and all that. Now, one of the challenges that can happen when you're extracting things from fields is there may be extra spaces in there. They talked about that yesterday, right? So the first thing we want to do is to trim that. Do you remember the trim function?
Yes.
Okay, but we can't trim into the same place that I found. So Control Shift down.
Oh, we have to transfer the information over first.
Actually, I think what we can do is this, actually, Escape. Okay, go to like column G. Go to
And
column G in this. You can make some of these smaller if you need to. Okay, so put equals, and then we're going to say A4 trim,
mhm,
and then A4,
A4.
and hit enter.
Sure.
Okay, now just hit that, double click it, and it'll take it all the way down.
Yep.
Now when we copy that, you're going to go back in and paste it over the same thing, but you're going to paste it just as text. So it will be, just place the values.
Yeah.
All right, that's it, and then you can go back. See that done? We're going to go back over to G, and we're just going to delete what we just entered in there. You can just hit clear contents if you want. We'll just delete. Okay. So now we've trimmed it up.
Case values. Okay.
You're at that point. Okay. So now on sheet 2, or the database sheet, in the very first column, we want to extract their last name.
Yes.
They have the last name listed first, so we're going to use the left function. Equals left. Okay. And then open parenthesis. And then, oh, it does it one automatically. All right, then back to sheet 1, you're going to select sheet 1 A4. And I basically locked my columns on most of these, just in case something gets changed later, somebody decides to pull something down or anything like that. Okay, so it's sheet 1 A4.
Yep.
And then you're going to tell it you want to find, because the next value in there is how many characters then you want it to stop. Okay.
Right.
So tell it find tab, and then you're going to find the first comma. So in quotation marks, put a comma.
Mm-hmm.
And then put another comma, because you're going to go to the next field, and that's in the same scene. So refer back to sheet 1 A4. And you want to make sure that you lock the column on that. Not the whole cell, just the column, where you run into problems later.
Command locked.
One more.
Column A.
There you go.
So yeah.
That got messed up when you clicked over to the other thing, so you are going to want to go back and start again. So erase out back to the thing and start over. Okay. The problem with these is that you have to hit comma before you go off the sheet. Equals left. Okay, sheet 1 A4. Hit the lock button 3 times. There you go, comma. There you go. All right, now find. Tab. And you're finding the first comma that's in there, right? So good, quotation marks. Okay, and then space by comma. And then again, the exact same thing, and just hit the lock 3 times. And in parenthesis. And then we want to subtract 1. Now when we subtract 1, that makes it so that it's not going to take the comma that's in there.
Okay.
This again.
That one. And then
Mommy, why are so many people coming in?
And minus 1. I'm recording an event that's going to be submitted to school right now. So if you talk to me, you're being submitted to my school.
High school.
All right, minus 1 in parenthesis and enter. All right, now you want to just drag that down. You can't double click it yet on this. Once you've done, that's too far. It's about 60. So just drag it down to 64 is what we got. Okay. The next function is going to be to find the last name, the first name. Okay. So go back to home spot. You can always hit Control Home. Okay.
Mine is a little. No, it's a little different. So.
All right.
All right.
So now it's going to be.
I'm going to do a right.
It's going to be the right function, yeah. And you can go over to my screen if you need to look at it. You can look at it here too, because it's right next to you. It's a nice thing about being in the same house while we record this. So equals right, because we're searching from the right. And this is also where the trim function made a big difference. Because of the trim function, we don't have to worry about extra spaces. So equals right.
That's right. Okay.
sheet 1, A4.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. And we're going to be looking for
And you want to
a
take,
space.
well, and this one you have to take the whole length, because if you're just looking for a space, we found that it wasn't working very right.
Okay.
Let me try and make sure that that's what we caught before. Control X, comma, because when we did it before with that, it wasn't getting them right. It was cutting things off. Yeah. When you don't, if you don't do the length minus the space, it cuts things off. So what you have to do is you have to take the whole length, so it's the length function, LEN.
Yep.
Length of the entire cell you're looking in. Yep. And then in bracket, in parentheses rather, minus, and then you do a find. And then I did the comma and the space. I think you could do it with just the space, but I did the comma and the space to make sure that I didn't have any extra spaces in there.
Okay.
You could probably do it with just the
Let me
space.
try just the, you're going to do just the space.
Do it just the space,
Okay.
and then you probably don't have to do the -1 at the end.
All right.
Yeah, that works. So just the space.
Yep.
And then you should be able to just double click that down. Oh, space, comma, and then again in the sheet 1, A4. So again, right here.
Yeah.
Good.
Argument function. Okay.
Okay, if you have a problem, then you need to tell me what the problem is so we can hear it on the video, and then we can
Okay.
sit
So
there.
I have equals right.
Share your screen with me.
It is
Okay,
currently
good.
shared.
All right. Equals right, sheet A14, Lynn, sheet A14. Oh, you have an extra comma in there by your, after this second in the Lynn function.
Mhm.
There's a comma where it doesn't need to be. Take that out. Nope. Right there. Now hit enter and see if that works. Okay, there you go. You can always just double click those from here on out. Just double click. You don't have to do any more drag down.
All right.
Okay. Now, what function do you think we'll use to find the last 4 of the social security number?
Let's see. That's probably going to be the value.
It will be value, yes, because it has to convert it to a number, so that's good. And then what?
That's the value, and then it's this one.
So if it's the last
Some
4,
Conte.
go to your data that we're on. And then if it's the last 4, look at that. So if it's the last 4, how would you pick up something that's just the last 4 of a set of information?
Put in parentheses that you just want the last 4.
Right, but it does that by counting from the right. So it's going to be a value right function. Okay?
All right, so I'm going to go equals value. Okay. Here, here.
You have to do value and then right. So
Right.
before you have your sheet name, do value. And then right. Okay. And then your cell.
Okay.
Yeah.
And mark that.
Comma before you click off the page.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how many are we looking for? How many digits?
4.
Okay.
So do a 4.
And you should be able to hit enter.
And yeah.
Double click. Try again. All right. Now notice you can double check that it's a value because it's over to the right.
Correct.
So that's very good. That's
The value
exactly
is
what you
to the
want to
right,
do.
text.
The reason why you want to make sure it's a value because if they're searching for a number in here later and they
Mhm.
can't, then it's going to be a problem. Okay. Hire date is really easy. You're just going to transfer the information from the other sheet.
Okay, higher
So
date.
So you don't copy and paste. Do a function equals,
Yeah. Equals
and then just the other cell. Link it to the other cell.
this.
Enter, and then double click it down. Okay. The years employed one we had a hard time with, so you're going to want to watch my screen with this. So the years employed, I went through a bunch of different functions and found that this is the best function. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to calculate the value of today's date minus the value of the date in here.
Okay, that makes
Divided
sense.
by 365, because it's trying to do it with the dates. It came back with some really weird dates for us. So when you convert it back to the numbers that Excel does it in, and then subtract it and divide it by 365, then it gives you a number. Okay, so see what you can do with that.
We're gonna go equals value. We want today. And then we need to go over to our sheet here. And go, this is the higher date here. And okay. And then I need to tell it, let's see, there's 365.
Well, you had your higher date on the other sheet, so you wouldn't have to go to the other
that's
sheet.
true.
So,
All right. Let me back up then. All right, so equals value today.
okay, now what do you have to do with today to make it so that it's all the way today? Notice what it says in the little tab below it. It just shows you right there in this. So it shows you what you're supposed to do. Sorry, you're supposed to do the brackets side to side. Remember that? Because if you don't, you're going to get an error. Open parenthesis, close parenthesis. So it's an open equation there. There you go. And now the value of your text, which is the next cell over. But you want to do
It keeps doing that.
tell it.
I mean, if I tell it yes, I'll fix it. But
okay, we'll go back in before that last
Yeah.
parenthesis because we're not done. All right, so it's going to be minus the value of the other day.
3
minus
this.
minus the value of that. Remember that we have to do the values because if we don't do the values, it's not subtracting it correctly.
Okay, so
Minus, type the word value.
values. And then the number of values is 365.
No, the value is the
Oh,
date.
value
We're
this date,
figuring out their
okay.
age, right?
Oh, okay. I already done
That makes sense?
Okay, yes.
Close bracket.
Close bracket.
Okay, and then I put that whole thing in a bracket because it wasn't dividing it correctly if you don't. So from value to the end, you have to have all of that in the bracket.
Value. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay, and then divide it by 365 like you were trying to do. No, you had the bracket correct. You need that extra bracket there. All right, you're missing a bracket somewhere. Let's see where you're missing it. Okay, I'm going to read mine to you.
All right. Well, it came
Equals,
up with a really.
hold on.
Yep.
Let me read mine to you. Equals value.
Okay, I have a.
I'm sorry. Open bracket. That equal open parenthesis.
Okay.
Value. Open parenthesis.
Yep.
Today.
Yep.
Open parenthesis.
Yep.
Close parenthesis.
Yes.
Close parenthesis.
Okay, that's where I'm missing. There's an extra close. Okay.
Minus
Yep.
value. Open
Okay.
parenthesis.
Uh-huh.
D2.
Yep.
Close parenthesis. Close parenthesis. Give another close. You have another. Do you have two closes there?
Yes,
Okay.
two
Divided by
closes, divided by
365.
365. Close parenthesis.
You don't need another one there.
Okay.
Enter. All right. Now you want to take that and make it to it's just one decimal point. Is what the sheet said to do.
So. 23.
Yep, so here's what it had said. I guess I skipped going through that with you. Calculate the number of years to one decimal point to the nearest tenth with the company and the date. The Excel file being used for this calculates the formula so that sheet one automatically calculates today's date. Oh wait, hold on.
Like I said, you have to wear a dress.
For this calculation,
I look
create
nicer in this than I do in some of my other clothes. in some of my other
a cell.
dresses.
You're being recorded on YouTube in formula sheet 1 that automatically calculates today's date. Then if the employee has been with the company 10 or more years, have the cell highlighted in green automatically. Also, if the employee has been with the company less than 2 years, have the cell highlighted in yellow automatically. Okay, we nested the date function. So I think that that's okay because it calculates it with using today's date always. So now you have to do a highlighting rule on that. I'm going to go to view your screen and I want you to talk us through doing a highlighting rule.
Okay. Go to conditional formatting, go to highlight, and we're going to go to greater than,
Uh-huh.
and we're going to say greater than 10.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's greater than 10, we want it to
Yes.
highlight with green. Okay.
Wait. I guess that's okay. I just made a special rule and highlighted it with green so the text would stay black. Because I don't know if it copies the text. Yeah, so why don't you change that? Hit Control Z and do the whole thing again.
10 and to custom. All right, there we go.
There you go. Okay, now select the color.
So,
That's font. You go over to border.
oops. There you go, border. Automatic.
No, not border, I'm sorry.
You want
Fill
fill.
with
There we
green.
go.
There you go.
Fill green. Okay.
All right.
And then we're going to go font.
Font's the same. That's all you have to do. So just tell it okay. Drag your box up if you can't see it all the way. Click the top of your box and drag it up. There you go. All right, and tell it okay.
Yep.
All right, now you have to conditional format for the other one. Just so you know, you can also just conditional format the one cell and double click it and it will carry it down.
Okay, it's going to be less than 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anything less than 2 is going to be yellow. Just go fill, yellow, and okay.
Perfect.
All right. So.
Okay. So those look the same.
Okay.
Very good. Okay.
10 years.
Now, this is a yes or no function.
So, right.
They want us to be able to say if the company, it's a yes if they've been with us 10 years, it's a no if they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of function are you going to use?
Well, we'd use a value because we want to find out if they have one in there 10 years or longer.
Well, we've already got a value. So this is a
Okay.
conditional formatting. What word do you use in conditional formatting? When you use conditions with your kids, what is it?
Do it or you're grounded.
Nice try. How about if you do this,
like an if
then yes, there you go.
Okay, so equals if.
Okay, and what are you comparing it to? Hit tab.
We're going to compare it to this over here.
Okay, and we want it to be greater than or equal to what?
10 years.
Okay, so make it greater than or equal to.
So I always forget
the carrot eats the 10.
Carrot eats the 10. Okay.
Equal.
Eats the 10 equals 10.
Oh yeah, the carrot eats the E3. You did it right.
Yeah,
I said it wrong.
That's okay.
You got my, you know, my dyslexia.
Let's see. I need to go comma.
No, just 10.
Okay, just 10.
Now comma. Now it's going to tell you the next thing to do. If you look in your screen.
Yes, the value if true, false.
Okay, so what do you want it to do if it's true?
If it's true, then it needs to show it.
Show what?
It needs to show that they've been there more than 10 years.
Yes or no. It's a yes or no. So in quotation marks.
So in quotations, yes.
No, just a Y or an N. That's all they want.
Okay.
Capital Y, capital N. Just capital Y.
Capital Y.
Close quotation. Okay, now comma, and what does it tell you to do next?
Comma, and quotation, and quotation.
Enter.
And enter.
And double click it. And there you go. Got it?
Yep.
All right.
Showing up.
Okay, number
Alright,
3 is a very
insurance plan.
complicated one. Number 3, let's read what it says on the page. Do you want to read what it says on the next thing?
Let's see.
G.
This is G.
Yes.
So insurance plan data needs to be numerical. Sheet 1 shows the insurance plan that an employee has, employee only, employee plus. I can't see what the other one is because it's off the screen. To be converted to a number. Sheet 2 as follows: employee only equals 1, employee plus spouse equals 2, family equals 3.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is what kind of formatting again?
Conditional.
Conditional, yes. And it's going to have several things nested in it. Okay, so you're going to want to glance at my screen and see what we've got here. I can zoom in on it if you'd like. Let me, instead of the viewfinder, I'm going to zoom my full screen. Okay, so can you see my screen better now?
Yeah, this thing was in the way.
Well, you could also just look over since we're sitting next to each other, but it has to
Yes.
record it. Okay, can you see if you look over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so go to your cell on your screen. There you go.
Okay.
All right, so what you want to do is you start off with an if, right?
Equal if, yeah.
And then you have to refer to the cell that has the information.
Okay.
And you want to lock that
Lock the
column in
column.
place. Yep. And then it has to equal something because that's what you're doing. This is your first logical test.
Equal.
All right.
Okay.
And then your
So,
value.
with the family, it's going to be.
Yep, it should be quotation. This one's written in backwards, but you can start with family first. Evelyn, can you please get that as soon as possible? Put it on quote.
Yeah, quote family.
Yeah, and it has to say exactly as it shows up. Get it.
Hello?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now it's going to say, so that's your value.
Hello?
If it equals that, comma, that's your logical test, right? So what do you want to say it to say if it's that?
3.
Yes. All right. And then comma.
Comma.
If it's not that, we need to do what? We need to search for the next thing. So put another if in there.
Right. Okay. If. Okay. And
All right.
same thing.
Yep. Refer back to the cell.
Okay. And lock. And equals. We'll go with employee only.
Don't forget your quotations.
Yes. Okay, and quote equals.
No. Nope, not an equals there.
Comma 2. Or sorry, 1.
Yes.
And then another comma. And if. Okay, sheet again. Lock. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go to equals.
Evelyn, go tell your brother to get in the shower right this very second.
Ooh, what happened?
You're not done yet. Just it's okay.
I wasn't. Yes, I know I wasn't done.
Okay.
Unless it's gonna get in the shower right away, we have to leave soon.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Tap back.
We're going to Grandma's birthday party.
Employee 1
Not
only.
too far back.
Okay, if.
Sheet. Yep. So if your
There
cell.
we go.
Yep. If the cell. Click it.
So,
Be quiet, tonight.
This is being recorded on YouTube, son.
there we go. Okay.
If that equals.
Yes, I need to lock that.
One more.
Mine's
There you
not
go.
something burning.
Equals. 1. Oh,
No.
no. Let's see.
Employee plus spouse is the only one you haven't done yet.
Okay.
Oh, it has to have a space. Employee space plus space spouse.
And
And
quote
quote.
equals.
No, not equals. Comma. Then 2.
Then 2.
Okay, and then you can just close parentheses because if it does not that, then you don't want it. Now you have a couple of parentheses to close. You notice how yours is colored? So you have to have 3 closed parentheses there. One more. Now hit enter. Now double click it and watch what you got.
I got smiley faces. I have a false on one.
Okay, so let's decide what one is false. Let me get out of my zoomed in thing.
Okay, so
Which cell is false?
it is
Are your 2s
6.
false?
Yes. My
Okay,
2s
so
are all
let's see what's wrong
false.
with your 2.
Okay, so that's 2.
Hold on.
That's why there's a 1 there. Oh no, that's
Okay, employee
fine.
only should be 1.
Yeah, employee only 1. Spouse.
Okay, so the very last one. If sheet 1, D7 equals employee plus spouse,
Right,
comma.
I'm a 2.
Okay, so let's go back. There may be some things that need to be trimmed. Let's go over to your other cells, your sheet 1. Okay. And
Okay.
find the insurance plan column,
Mhm.
and we're going to take this to another area and trim it. So talk me through what you're doing so we know that you got
Copy
it.
it.
I'm going to
Take
go
it
back and watch
over.
your screen.
I'll drop it
Actually, you
in.
don't have to even drop it in. Remember what we did before? It just is equal.
Oh, that's right.
Back up to G1.
Equals.
Go one higher. You're going to be sorry if you don't. Go one column, go right next to the top. There you go. Equals.
Equals insurance.
You have to do trim first.
That's equals trim. I want to tell it what we're going to trim.
Right.
And we're going to trim that out. And
Just
we
hit
gotta
enter.
hit.
And then double click.
But we didn't tell it what to trim.
Yes, you did. It trims off all extra spaces. Double click it. Okay. Now copy it and paste it back as just the values over the original information. Just paste special. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Now let's see if that fixed your problem.
No, I did not want to do that.
What did you do?
I'm hoping that I did it right.
That looks good.
Okay.
You
Just
can
get out of that
leave that
for
there.
now.
That's fine. Okay. So that didn't fix it. So now the next thing to do is go back over to your sheet 1. Copy one of the cells that says family plus spouse. Oh, it says family. Okay. Which one did you do wrong? Copy the cell that says family plus spouse. Click on one more down. There. All right, not that one. Over here, what's just the text. There, copy it. All right, now you can go back to the other sheet here and type that. You can paste that in there because you may have a misspelling.
Yeah.
S-P-O-U-C.
You know what? I bet there's a space.
Well, that was trimmed off, so now just paste in what they have. Hit enter and see what happens. It's okay. All right, let's try again. I think you have spelled wrong somewhere in there. Can you go back to page 1?
Yes, I do. I have a C instead of an S, that's why. There we go.
Hit enter. Oops,
All right.
you didn't fix it in that one. We'll fix it in there. Take the C3, drag that up. Take that, drag it up. Hey, didn't fix it.
All right.
Let me go to one of mine.
I can fix it.
All right, what are you gonna do?
I will fix it. There. There we go.
Good. All right, now just double click that down. And you want to make sure you get that to copy up to the previous 3, because if something changes in those 3, it's going to mess their thing up. So you go to your first 2 or pull it up. Yep, there you go. Now it's correct on all of them. All right. Next thing we're going to do is extract the city. Now let's read what it says to do about the city.
Yep.
Evelyn, have your brother and your sister all the way ready, because as soon as we're done with this, we have to walk out the door. Okay?
Okay, so this is H.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see, H, I, and J. These cells need to reflect the work location by city, state, and zip. In separate columns, there was an error when it was originally created. Please replace all cities and say Rigby with Rexburg. Okay, this is gonna be just to find and replace then.
Okay, it is, I had tried several different things with this before I did it, so this is what we ended up with, because I tried a bunch of different comma things, but it's not just to find and replace, it's gonna be an if, go back to your cell, because it's all gonna, we're gonna calculate it all in one cell. So go back to data for upload.
Yeah.
All right, go to the city. Okay,
Okay.
so equals if.
Equals F.
All right, now you're gonna tell it you want it to start from the left, because the city's at the left, right?
Yeah, left.
Okay, now select your cell.
Let's see over here.
E4.
There's now being in the shower? What's wrong with you?
E4.
Okay.
Now walk that in. One more. There you go. Okay, comma. And then you're gonna tell it to find,
Try to get back in the towel.
and you're gonna have it find
Correct,
the first comma.
Okay, find.
And what that does is it counts the number of cells, because this is supposed to be a number. So this
Right.
counts the number of cells. Okay, now put a comma, and you
Mhm.
have to tell it where it's looking for there, where it's counting. So it needs to count in that
Okay,
same cell,
Location,
comma.
comma.
Actually, not a comma, a closed bracket there, sorry. And then we're gonna -1, because we don't want it to include the comma there.
Right.
All right, and then close bracket. Okay, so all of that does is says, right now, if the first word in this sentence says, so it needs to say, what do you want it to say? Equals, what's the wrong word in there?
Rigby.
Okay, so equals Rigby.
So, equals. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so what did you do wrong on that? When you're telling it says something, whenever somebody says something in writing, you want to quote it. That's right. Okay. All right, then, so you have to hit your comma because you're still under the value if that. So then, there you go. Now tell you what you want it to say.
Say Rexburg.
You're not quoting Rexburg, are you? You have to quote Rex.
No, I don't like quoting Rexburg.
Quote Rex.
Not a very nice person to quote.
Quote Rex. Berg. End quote. Okay, now we have to do a value of false, comma.
Comma.
Okay.
False.
Now let me go back and see what I did for mine. So if false, then we're going to do another left. No, you don't write false. Okay, so now it's going to be another left search. Now what it's going to tell this is the word you want to put in, if not. Left.
Okay.
Okay. Find. I'm sorry. No, left sheet 1. I'm sorry, left and then the cell.
There we go. And
Okay.
then we want to comma find.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what are we looking for again?
We're looking for Rigby.
Nope, we're looking for where a cutoff is. What's our cutoff queue in an address?
Comma.
Yes.
So, comma. Okay.
Okay. And then tell it where to look for it.
Text. Comma. And start number.
Nope, close parenthesis. -1.
Okay. Oh, that's long.
It is long. What does it say?
Oh, it's like
It was fixing the commas, right? Double click.
Yeah, fix something.
How does that look for you?
It looks like it's all there.
All right, good.
Okay, now the state.
All right. On the state, what do you think you should do for a state function? If you're looking, go back to look at your string of text that we're extracting from.
So it's going to be comma. So we're going to be dealing with 2 commas.
Uh-huh.
So I want to subtract out the commas.
Okay. So there was a function they told us about that was a mid function.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to use a mid function in this to find out where it's at. Okay.
So I can just do that right over here.
You don't want to do it right in the cell?
Well, I need to find out the location that it's at, the number location, and then go into the cell and.
You can do it all in the same cell and tell it to do it. So what were you going to do to
Okay.
find, show me what you were going to do to find the number location.
Well, I was going based off of what we did in our thing yesterday. Is you
Okay,
just
show
put
me.
in mid, and then it puts the information in, and then you know what number it is. So then you can.
That's part of it, but it will all do it automatically in this way, if you want to do
So,
that.
Equals mid.
So you want to find the mid value of what?
I want to find the mid value of this here,
Oh, say it, of the
of
address.
the address.
Okay.
Okay, and let's see. Okay, and then I want it to pull out. Well, it should just find the mid. So
Well, when you're up in here, it should tell you what it wants next, right? So what does it say that it wants
it
next?
wants the start number.
Right, so you have to make it calculate a number next. So the find function is a calculation function. It's going to find how many. It's going to
Right.
calculate. So you want to do that next.
Okay, so I want to
You're
find.
wanting that in the dinner?
All right, so you want to find the first comma. Okay, and then switch it over.
Let's see. Find the text in here.
You have to put a comma in between so you tell it you're into the next part of the function. So find your text, comma, yep. Now notice how it blacked up where it says within text.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want, okay? Comma. And then
Our start
you want to
number.
start 2 over from that because you don't want to get the comma and you don't want to get the space, right?
Right.
So you have to add 2 to that.
So +2.
All right, and then we have to determine how many letters we want it to take.
2.
Okay.
So comma 2.
Yep.
Comma is missing an opening. Okay, so I don't have an opening.
You don't have a closing one.
Closing. Yeah.
You're still missing one. Let me see
Still
if we're missing some more in there. So you should have a parenthesis. Hold on. It's probably placed a little bit wrong.
Mid. Okay, so
Okay,
equals
after
mid.
E4. Do you see where E4 is at?
Yes.
The second one?
Yes.
So you have, that's where you want a parenthesis at, before +2. Because that way you're telling it, find this, and then add 2. Not find this +2. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it still doesn't work.
Take off the extra parenthesis.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Still
Let me go back to it. Hold on.
All right.
Okay,
Well, then do I need an
E4,
E4?
Okay, start at the beginning. Click on mid.
All right, mid.
Now, it's going to tell you want the text. So now tab over,
Right.
use your thing, not tab, but there you go. Okay.
Mhm.
So this is your text, is in E4. That's the right cell, correct? So keep moving your cursor over. Just use your cursor and watch when the next thing goes to black. Okay, that's your start number. So find, all right. And then we're telling it to find in the sheet. Now, when you move your cursor, it's looking for extra spaces as well, so that's good. Comma, quote, okay.
Mhm.
Just move your cursor over one at a time to make sure that you don't have extra, and then another comma, make sure that's right. Okay, good, and now you moved into within the text,
Yep, I got
which
the
is
sheet again.
sheet 1, E4, okay. Now it should be closed bracket. Oh, take
Yeah.
that comma out there. There's your problem. Okay, now go to the, hold on. Tell it, I want you to learn to do that yourself. I want you to learn to go back up in there and do that yourself, because that'll help. But you did it.
All right.
So what was the value? Did you get a value out of that part?
Well, the value is state.
No, what value to you in learning
Well, the value is going back and checking each thing.
right, because when you can go through
Moving
one at a
your-
time with
Moving
your
your cursor through.
yeah, it makes a huge difference. Okay.
Okay, zip.
How long is the zip
Should be-
code?
Zip codes are 4 or 5 letters.
Okay, 5 characters.
Yeah.
So see if you can tell us what we're going to do for that.
This is going to be a write function.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're going to go into the sheet. So we're going to go, let's see, write, and I'm going to tell it to find
You don't need to
No,
tell
I'm
it to
gonna
find.
tell
It's
the
not
text.
counting.
text, comma,
And then the number of characters.
is 5.
Close bracket. There you go. Now, you notice that your thing entered off to the left instead of to the right.
Right, because it's
Is it a value right now, or is it a text?
no, it's a text.
So what do you need to change?
I need to change it to a value.
So how do you do that?
I don't remember exactly.
Okay, take a breath and try it and think.
It's going to be in the text. Let's see.
Give yourself a hint. Go back and look at what we did for the other one that we had to convert to a value. Which one do we have to convert to a value? Hire date.
Yes.
So that's a good way to do hints, is in your own thing. Nope. Years employed. Oh, social security number. Social security number.
Social security number. Okay. Okay, right, sheet,
What's the very first function there?
value. Okay, so I'm going to do a value, right?
You're in the wrong cell.
Um,
Go on to the zip code.
oh, here we go. Yeah. So I have to change that to a value.
At the very beginning.
Equals value.
Go.
Okay.
Now hit enter.
All right, we found a typo in the formula. We tried to fix it.
Oh, it needs a second bracket at the very end. Okay, now you see how it moved it over. So now just double click that and it'll go and fix it. All right. All right, let's read what it says about the phone number. Okay, so we've got the cities fixed. Column K, we need the full phone number. Go ahead and keep reading. I need some
Okay,
water.
column K, we need the full phone number for each employee, including area code. Please add the appropriate area code to each phone number. Area code for each city as follows: Rexburg, Idaho 208, Colorado Springs 719. So we're going to be pulling out the zip code then.
No, you're gonna have to. It's kind of an if-then function. You're gonna be adding an area code because there's no area code. If you go look at your phone number field,
Okay, so it's going to be an
There's no-
if it's Rexburg, then it should be 208. If it's Colorado Springs, it should be. Okay.
all right. So one of the things that I had done at first was I had hard coded it into the thing, and Caleb pointed out to me like that it was hard coded in because I just hard coded 208 into the format. You don't want to do that. So make on your sheet the sheet 1 where it says Rexburg area code, the 208, and then Colorado Springs 719. Because with so many phone numbers changing, area codes change. So they need to be able to go in and change this.
Okay.
So just make that over there.
Over here on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So type in Rexburg here, 208.
Yep.
Okay. 8. Springs. Was it 719?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then you want to tell it what you're going to do with the upload. So, what kind? You're going to do an test. You have to test which one it should be, and then it has to put it in, right? We did something similar to this before, right? We've done a couple of those testing. See, which one did we do that with? We did that with the city. Remember doing that with the city that we have
Yes, the really long one.
long test? Yeah. In fact, you could probably copy most of this text here. Copy it. Take it and paste it in another cell. And then make the changes as necessary. Because it's the same cell, we're still going to look for
Okay, so we're not looking in the city though, we're going to be looking in the phone number. So instead of looking in...
oh, actually pasting that in didn't do you much
No,
good.
it's
Just
not
go ahead and
going
take
to.
it out. No, you're going to want to just walk through it on the stuff.
Alright.
I have to go to the restroom for a minute, so just it's going to keep recording. My screen's here, your screen's there.
Yep.
Talk through what you're doing, and then if there's a challenge with it, then you can look back at it, okay? I'll be back in just a minute.
So I'm going to do an if. Okay, if data upload. So, okay, that's right. Data Okay. Manage. Extra column data. Okay. Okay, so equals if and if logical test. If upload. That's right. Why does that not make sense?
Okay. You don't like it.
Okay, so we're gonna say phone number. If Colorado Springs Colorado Springs and select this. Okay. If test. If Springs If Colorado Springs shows up. Rexburg. East Rexburg. That.
All right, you got more done?
Um, all right. Yeah, I'm getting a value error, so I'm sure I'm not putting something incorrect here.
I will let everybody know.
I'm getting a value error, so
Okay, so what are we trying, what have you tried to
okay,
fix it so far?
what I'm doing is if it shows Rexburg,
Whoa, if what shows Rexburg? You're referencing the wrong cell. You want to reference the cell that's actually locating it. So reference the same sheet. Equals if
equals if.
your city on that sheet that you're on right now shows Rexburg.
Okay.
There you go. So equals,
Equals.
then Rexburg in quotations.
Okay.
Okay, good. And then,
I need to tell it what I want it to do.
yep, so you want it to then say that it's going to be,
Comma.
uh-huh.
And go to 208.
Now you have to add a parenthesis ahead of it. So, in quote, comma, before that, did you just mess it up?
I did.
Okay.
Equals if Rexburg
If H2 equals Rexburg, right?
if H2 equals, yeah, Rexburg,
Comma, quote,
quote,
and then you have to do an opening bracket. So you have to have the brackets next to it.
open, 208.
Yep. No. That's hard-coded.
That's right.
Okay, open, close bracket, and then comma. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. All right, you want it to just have an opening bracket on the left side of your phone number.
Right.
So program it to say left side bracket.
So left.
Tell me what you do. You don't have to use the left function.
Okay.
You're telling it to quote.
Okay, so quote.
Quote, opening bracket, and then end quote. That's all you have to do there. End quote, comma.
Okay. Telling it you're putting it on that
Yeah,
side.
actually do and instead of comma. Okay, so left bracket and, so now it's going to match what's next to it. So now you want to tell it the area code box on your other sheet.
Okay.
Okay, and then, and again, and the close bracket. No, it has to quote close bracket. Try again.
And quote, close bracket.
And then end quote, right?
And
Do the end quote. Back.
end quote.
Okay, you're missing something in there still. Open quotation marks, close bracket, and then close quotation marks. Say it out loud.
Open quotations, close quotation.
Okay. And then you need to put Nick, so that tells it the first thing to do. Okay. And then you need to say and, take the comma back out.
And
Now it needs to include the phone number. So you go over to sheet and hit the phone number field.
Yep.
Okay. At this point, you can hit enter and see that it's worked just for that much. Okay. What's wrong with it? Go back up.
just give it a name value.
Okay. So let me see your stuff. Equals H2. Why is yours an H3? That's fine. H3. Open quote. And sheet. And quote. And what's sheet 1F4?
That would be
The phone number?
this one here. Yeah, the phone number.
Okay. So go back. All right, well, let's go through one character at a time and see what you got going on.
All right.
Because it should work with just that up to there, I think, unless you're missing functions. Let's go to the end. Take that parenthesis out. Oh, the value of false. Actually,
Value if true.
all right, let me
Value if false.
equals here.
Okay,
Just
so
let's
equals. Jump all the way over here. So
read it to me.
equals. I think I found it. I just found it. It's a close parenthesis right there, and it should be open.
No, there shouldn't be anything before the if.
No, then that's the problem.
Equals if. Just make it say if again.
Oh, never mind. That was an I. Okay. There we go. Equals if H3, which is Rexburg, equals. Okay, so H3.
No,
Oh no, there's too many.
Why are you referencing it? Okay, that's fine.
Okay, comma, quotes, close parenthesis, quotes, and.
Okay, you're referencing the wrong information on the wrong sheet in the sheet and. You should be referencing, so you have your quotes.
Yeah, quotes and.
Your, it should be quote, open parenthesis, quote, and.
Yeah.
Sheet 1.
Yeah.
I4. I4. Go back up. You weren't done. Okay, sheet 1, I4. Okay. And
quote,
close parenthesis, quote,
and
then sheet 1,
sheet 1
F4.
F4.
Okay.
Close.
And then I didn't close mine there. No, let me double check. Did you have the 208 and I4? Because that's what I just realized mine was referring to. Where is your area code? H4.
No, it's in H4.
Okay.
So that
Sorry.
was correct.
It probably was correct then.
So let's go back in, take the I out. H.
You want to lock that cell, by the way. Oh, completely locked. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And let me see if we have any extra quotes in there. Just hold it still for a minute. See if I can do a split screen at all. What's this? There we go. Okay. Okay, so if that equals Rexburg. Okay, you don't have Rexburg in quotation marks. You need to have Rexburg in quotation marks because you're telling it says that. Anytime that you're in a command that you're telling it says something, it has to be in quotation marks. See if that worked.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you know half of your function works. Now we have to put the other half in. Okay. So now the other half is going to be telling it what to do if that's not the case. Which you can copy everything from the right after the first comma after Rexburg. So go back into your formula, go to the first comma after Rexburg.
Mm-hmm.
Just from that comma, don't get the comma. No, don't get the comma. Yes, I know, Janai. One over. Get the quotation mark.
I'll take the comment out.
Okay, copy it. Go to the end. All right. Okay, so it should be, actually take that closed bracket out and leave the comma where it's F4. Comma, okay, it should say there now, comma, quote. You need an open quotation after F4, comma. Open quotation. Do you know why?
Yeah, because we're putting that parentheses there.
Yeah. Okay. So open quotation, sheet 1. Now you need to have it reference the next cell down because it was referencing cell 4, but you have it saying cell 5. Yeah, cell 5. There you go. There you go. I think that should work. Give it a try. Now go ahead and double click it and see if you've got the right area codes all the way down.
Yep.
There you go.
All right.
All right, let's read the last few things that we have to do and finish this up. Keep all the formulas so that you can use it for future reference. So I started making a sheet. How do you plan on keeping your formulas for reference?
I have a sheet in my book there.
Okay, label sheet 2 data for upload and sort the data by name alphabetically.
Okay.
Control home. I'm going to take out my name fields here because like you were saying earlier, we need to have that gone.
Should I do it as a table then, or?
No, just delete. All you have to do is click on it, Control Shift over, Control Shift down, take out row 1. There you go, and then sort and filter.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell it custom sort just so I know that it's getting the right row because I want it to sort. It said last names, right? Alphabetically? Name alphabetically. I'm going to go last name alphabetically. And then I will tell the next function to do the first name. So if it's 2 names. So
Sort by last name.
column A values A to Z, and then add a level. Then column B values A to Z. Tell it okay. Because that way I see it that, okay.
Okay, so last name.
Yeah.
And then by first name.
Yeah, but I took out my name field, so hopefully if you take out your name field, it'll fix it. It'll keep you. Just go ahead, click OK. All right. Notice that you have a couple with the same last name. So you've got it. They said the standards of professionalism don't need to apply to this one. So this is done and ready for submission. All right, that's going to end the broadcast.